So welcome everybody. It's so nice to be here with you all. So we're going to be doing restorative yoga tonight. So for those of you that haven't done this practice before, it's a really relaxing, soothing practice that's wonderful to do before bed. It helps to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. And what would be really helpful when you guys do this is having low lighting, and most of you guys have that happening. Ideally, we won't have lighting up above us, maybe lamps around the room, so I'm not sure if you can adjust your lighting as you see fit, but I would recommend dim lighting as much as possible. And then in terms of equipment, you just might want to have a whole bunch of pillows and blankets nearby you. Firm pillows are usually best. So if you have sort of like couch pillows or things like that, that would be a little bit more firm, that would be wonderful. And then once we get into the practice, so what I'll be doing is guiding you into these poses, and we'll be holding them for a fairly long time. So some of them are up to almost 10 minutes. And so ideally we get into a position that's really comfortable for your body to be in, and then you're able to rest in that pose. If you need to adjust or itch or sneeze or move around, you absolutely can. So don't feel like you're stuck in these poses. This is your practice, so make it work for you. And if you need to adjust in any way, please do. And it's not disruptive to anybody else if you have to do that. And then the other thing is once I guide you in and you get into the posture, then there may be times where I'm quite quiet and I'm just going to sort of let you be in the pose and just work on your breath. So I'm still here, the music's still playing, I haven't gone anywhere. If I'm quiet for a while, I'm just letting you be in the pose. So don't worry that I've left you. And I think that's it. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we'll start with a side lying pose. And so I'm going to be using my yoga bolsters, which are basically these long, firm, pillowy things. So you can just replace, if you don't have a bolster, you can just use, a couple of pillows or whatever you have nearby. So what we'll do is we'll swing both of our feet over towards the right, and then we have the bolster kicking out from our left hip. The further that we have that bolster over to the left and away from our knees, the greater that the stretch will be, so you can sort of adjust it for how deeply you want to go here. And we'll just position our legs in a way that's comfortable. If you need any support under your knees, you can do that. You may want to have a blanket nearby to pull over your body if you'd like. So hands on either side of the bolster. Let's inhale and sit ourselves up nice and tall, so we're opening this front line of the body. And as you exhale, rotating through the belly and the rib cage and the chest, and then slowly carry that rotation all the way down, so you can flatten as much of the front of your body down along that pillow as comfortable. And then turn your head and rest on one cheek. And it doesn't matter which one, just try and play with both and see what feels best for your neck once you get yourself down. And then here's where, if you'd like a blanket over your legs or your body, just feel free to place that over top of your body. Okay, so you can just remain in that position, adjusting in any ways that you need to. And then let's just close the eyes. And taking a nice, deep, full breath to really arrive into your body and into this moment. And as you exhale, relaxing, feeling your body becoming heavy and peaceful. As you inhale, notice the way that the breath rises along the back of your body. Inhaling, you can feel the lift of your spine, your ribs, your back. And as you exhale, feel the back body softening, the skin relaxing over the back like a cloak. Relax your hands and your feet, fingers and toes. Feeling that slow rising and falling, rising rising and falling of your breath. And when your mind wanders, just keep bringing it back to your breath. The cooling sensation of your inhale at the nostrils and the warmth of your exhalation. And each exhalation, feeling the body unraveling another layer of tension. One more deep, full breath here. And then as you feel ready, slowly easing yourself back up into a seated position. And then we can take that bolster over to the opposite side and swing our feet now over towards the left. And adjust that bolster so that it's going straight out. And we want it close to the hip so that it's going to support your belly all the way to your head. So hands on either side. Again, let's inhale and get nice and tall through the front of the body. And then as you exhale, rotating through the belly, the ribs and the shoulders, and slowly lengthening and tucking as much of the front of your body under you as you can. And then you can position your arms at your sides so they don't have to hold yourself up at all. And then turning your head and resting on one cheek. let's inhale through the nose. Nice, big, deep belly breath. Exhale, open your mouth and breathe out. Good, let's do that again. Big inhale. Open mouth, exhale. And then just letting the breath come back into its natural rhythm. Allowing your eyes to close and soften, even those little tiny muscles around your eyes relaxing. And the face expressionless. And feel the weight of your shoulders releasing down towards the floor, the arms heavy at your sides. So this is a passive position. There's no effort required. We're not holding ourselves up. We're just simply releasing. Allowing the consciousness to rest on the breath. So as you inhale, the breath soothes the body. It's like soothing out wrinkles in the fabric of your being. And as you exhale, let your whole body exhale, even your bones breathing out, and your skin exhaling. Experiencing any areas of tension or holding in the body, and see if you can draw your breath in to those areas with an inhale, and as you exhale, melt around that area and into that area. deep, full breath here. And then as you feel ready, slowly easing yourself up into a seated position. Okay. So what we're going to do now is come up into an all fours position with our bolster in front of us, and then I'd like you to have some sort of pillow or folded blanket to your right side, and that'll be an optional thing that we can use once we get into this supported pigeon pose. So what we'll be doing is starting in all fours up on hands and knees. And then let's take our right leg forward. So the right knee will slide forward, and then we're going to bring our right knee towards the right side of the mat and our right toes towards the left side of the mat. Now the further ahead that you take your right foot, the deeper that the stretch will be on your hip. So you can adjust that for how deeply you want to go into this pose. And then we'll slide our back leg about as far back as we comfortably can. Then what we can do is take that pillow or folded blanket and just tuck it underneath that right hip so you're not kind of free floating hanging off the knee there. We have some support for the pelvis. Then if we take that bolster pillow and slide it, so it's going to come onto my leg and it'll support me from my belly all the way down to the chest. And then you can slowly ease yourself down. Now get as many pillows as you need to so that you're able to bring yourself all the way down and turn your head and rest on one cheek. And again, settling in with a full, deep belly breath. Exhale, soften the back and soften the shoulders. And usually we feel this into our right hip and glute and maybe even into the hamstring there. So think about drawing your breath into that right hip and creating some space with the breath. And then as you exhale, sink and relax that right side of your hip into the right side of your seat. And let your hips become as heavy as you can. See if you can relax that valley between your shoulder blades as you allow your head to become heavy. Notice if there's any gripping in the body, holding or resistance. As you inhale, breathe into that resistance. And as you exhale, allow it to release. One more full breath here. And then slowly easing yourself back up onto your hands and sliding that right leg back into all fours. We can move that pillow over to the left side. And then let's slide the left leg forward, bringing the left knee to the left side of the mat and the foot towards the right side of the mat. And then easing the right leg as far back as you comfortably can, and you can rest the top of your back foot onto the floor. And then tucking that support underneath your left hip to prop yourself up just a little bit. And bringing that bolster all the way underneath you, under your belly. And then lengthening your body all the way down so that you're not having to hold yourself up at all. Turn your head, rest on one cheek. And breathe. As you inhale, feel the way that your spine lifts up and the ribs broaden like an accordion inside of your body. As you exhale, feel the spaces between each of your ribs relaxing as the ribs hug the lungs. Inhale and open into that expansiveness through the back of your body. Exhale, soften inwards. And just really allow your body to rest here. And the wonderful thing about yoga is that there's no wrong way to be. There's no way we can mess this up. And you are perfect just the way you are. So breathe that in. Soak that in. No right or wrong. Just simply that state of breath and awareness. One more big full breath here. And then slowly pressing yourself back up onto your hands and sliding that leg all the way back. Okay. We'll be coming into a supported child's pose now. So we'll be sitting back onto our heels, and if you feel like you need a little bit of support, there's a few things that you can do for the knees. You could always take a blanket like so, lift your hips up and sort of sit back onto a blanket in this position, or a pillow underneath your hips would also work. And if you're comfortable sitting here, then let's widen the legs without that support. And then we're going to take our pillowy bolster and bring it up onto the lap. And if you sort of push down that front edge, then it won't be so jammy into your belly, so it'll sort of slope down a little bit. And then pushing down, we can sort of lengthen and tuck our body over top. We're going to come all the way down, wrap our hands around the bolster, turn the head and rest on one cheek, or if you'd prefer, you could rest on the chin or on the forehead. Wiggle around and see if you can get this as comfortable as possible. If you'd like a blanket over your body, you could also do that. As you inhale, fill the back of your body. And as you exhale, allow your hips to become as heavy as possible. The hips sinking towards the heels. And the shoulders and the arms relax so that we have no tension between the shoulder blades, through the neck or the jaw. Feeling the rising and falling of your breath here. And so normally we're in this state of doing through our daily life, and in this practice now, allow the doing to fall away. There's nothing that we need to do here. We're just simply in the state of being. So really paying attention to the sensations in the body, and the feeling of your breath expanding like a balloon inside of you. And the exhalation inviting your entire body to release and let go. The different sounds in your environment. The feeling of the floor below you and the support of your pillow and the clothing on your skin. One more deep, full breath here. again, pressing your body all the way back up. Okay. So the next one that we're going to do is my favorite one. And we just needed to set this up in a particular way. So I'll just show you the way that I do it, and then you can try and repeat with your own equipment as much as you can, the setup. So what I'll do is I'll take one of my bolsters, so a firm pillow, laterally across the mat, and then take your other one and angle it so it's got this sort of waterfall effect to the center of your mat. And then let's just make sure that we have a blanket or two right beside us, because we'll be using one for behind the neck, and if you want another one for over top of your body, then we could get a second blanket. So from here, let's turn and nudge our hips up against that bolster. And we can even kind of slide it underneath the hips. So I'm not sitting on it, but it's just tucked underneath the body there. And then if we bring the soles of your feet together and line the heels up. Now, once we get into this, if you want additional support, you could always tuck pillows here underneath your knees and your thighs, and that feels really nice. If you have the extra pillows around, you could do that. If the knees are feeling cranky or the hips, you could do this with the legs extended out. This is just the more traditional way of doing it. So just adjust as you'd like here. So what we'll do is if we lift the hips up and sort of scoop the tailbone under, and then we'll slowly start to lay the body back. Now let's take one of those blankets, and then what we can do is bring the blanket back behind us and create a little roll underneath the back of the neck. So it'll have this little rotation so that it can tuck underneath the cervical vertebrae in your neck, and then you can rest the head back and then turn the palms up beside your hips. And if you'd like that other blanket over top of your body, you could do that as well. And then feel free to adjust in any way that you need to, so that this pose is as comfortable and as welcoming as possible for you to be in. And then we can close the eyes. And as you inhale now, we can feel the way that the whole front of the body can expand, the belly and the ribs and the chest rising up like a flower opening in full bloom. And then as you exhale, feel the weight of your shoulders, the heaviness of your elbows, and loosen the wrists and the hands. Letting your fingers relax. And allow the jaw to relax so that there can be a small separation between the teeth. And the tongue relaxed from the root to the tip. Allowing your face to become expressionless as the eyes soften back into the sockets. Feeling the support along the back of your body here. Again, staying with the flow of your breath, rather than letting the mind leap into the future and our to-do lists, or leaning back into the past. Let's just be in this present moment, in this experience right now. And noticing how there is this sort of endless unraveling that can occur with the breath. Just when you think you're totally relaxed, it seems like we can go a little bit deeper, unravel a little bit more. And then slowly, let's extend the legs out along the floor, one by one. And then we'll sweep our arms all the way over our head, interlacing the fingers and rolling the palms up. And just allowing the arms to drop towards the floor above the head. We're not muscling our way through. Let's just let gravity do the work for us. Getting a little bit of space through the shoulders and the upper back. One more deep, full breath here. And then slowly releasing your arms all the way down beside your hips. And then we can slowly bring the body all the way back up into a seated position. So we'll finish off now with Shavasana, which is the end relaxation. So let's take one of those bolsters or pillows and bring that underneath the knees so that our lower back can completely relax. And then what we can do is, if you'd like, you could have a small pillow underneath your head, or you could create that same neck roll that we had in the last one if that felt good for you. And then let's take a blanket and place that over top of the body. And if you'd like to place an eye bag or a little folded pillow or a face cloth over your eyes, you could do that as well. So we'll lay all the way down. Bringing the hands, you could either turn the palms up at your sides, or if it feels better for your shoulders and arms to have the palms down on top of your lap, you could do that as well. If we sort of scoop the shoulders underneath the body a little bit to create some space around the neck, and then we can close the eyes. Once you close the eyes, taking a deep, full breath in through the nose. Exhale through an open mouth. Let's do that again. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then just letting the breath settle back into its natural rhythm. And imagine that as you inhale, you're pulling your breath down your legs right into your toes. And as you exhale, relaxing the arches of your feet and your ankles. And notice how the feet roll towards the outer edges of your heels. Softening into the calves and the shins. Feeling the kneecaps float. And feel the heaviness of your thigh muscles draping over the bones effortlessly. The heaviness of the legs releasing up into the hips. And feel the hip bones broadening as you relax into the pelvic floor. And the hips loosening upwards into your lower back and the length of your spine. Softening into the curves of your back. As you inhale, feel the lift of your breath as it rises into your belly. And as you exhale, relax the abdomen, feeling the inner organs float effortlessly within you. On the next in-breath, feel the ribs broadening and the chest rising up. And as you exhale, feel the chest relaxing into the upper back and into the shoulders. The shoulders releasing down into your arms, loosening the elbows and the wrists. Feeling the warmth and generosity in your hands and your life force pulsing in the tips of your fingers. A reminder of the gift of being alive in this moment. Relaxing the throat and the neck and the jaw. Let the face soften, become expressionless. Feel the forehead releasing into the scalp. And feel the weight of your brain as it relaxes like a muscle right onto the back of your skull. Each wave of breath carrying you a little deeper into that calm and sweet state of relaxation. one more deep, full breath here. And then slowly drawing yourself back, but allowing that deep relaxation to remain. As you feel ready, you can wiggle your fingers and toes if you'd like. And then we'll slowly roll to one side and ease up into a seated position. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.